Hello, guys. So this is going to be the prequel video to the next series of videos that I'm going to release to my Duck Mountain playlist. I'm going to start releasing what am I taking videos, just to show you what kit I'm going to be bringing on this excursion and my thoughts and musings about it. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a gear junkie. I like my bits and bobs and my trinkets, and sometimes the more nichey and weirder the better, right? But I do have a methodology and a way I choose my kit based on the way I camp. So throughout my life, I've done everything from primitive camping to what I would consider backpacking with my line of work. I've trailered. I had a pop-up trailer. I trailered with a 30-foot RV, did that whole lifestyle thing. And then finally, about 5 years ago, I went back to basics. I gave up the trailering. I didn't want to do the trailering anymore. I just wanted something a little bit more challenging, a little bit more simple. So as a result of this journey that we've been doing, that I've done, I've got a lot of experience from all the different communities. I've ultralighted for a little bit. That's how I actually got back into camping. I started off as an ultralighter, and then I moved into a bushcrafter. Eventually, I don't know what I am now. I think I'm an ATV moto camper, whatever. Labels are labels. But for choosing my kit, I got a large swath of knowledge that I've built up over the years that I use to draw on, right? From the ultralighters, I try to find kit that's as light as possible. I'm in love with titanium, right? So I anything I can buy and shave ounces where I can, where I need to, and where I can, I do. Right? I don't like to. Any fool can be uncomfortable, but if you can save a couple ounces or a couple of grams, then you're doing pretty good. From work experience, stuff has to be bomb-proof. It has to be a multi-use piece of equipment. And when I mean multi-use, I don't mean 5 or 6 times. I mean 50, 60, 70 times at least, right? It has to be solidly built. It can't be flimsy. And it's got to be bomb-proof. And it's got to be manipulatable, because usually that stuff is the stuff that's going to be able to take the abuse. As you're getting better at using it and practicing with it more, sometimes you're not always gentle with your stuff, especially if you're cold, wet. And that's the thing. If you're cold and wet and miserable, right, you got to be able to manipulate this stuff with your hands and have it take the abuse. And finally, and this is the biggest thing right here, the skills that I draw upon, is when I first got back into primitive camping, I started really getting into bushcrafting. And if you're going to spend any time in the woods, I did a lot of research in order to get myself confident enough to start doing the type of camping that I do. And that's the biggest tool in your toolbox right there, is the skills and the knowledge to use the equipment that you have, and how to still maintain that capability without the fancy equipment. You have to know a basic set of skills for that. So research, read, watch, take a wilderness course. That's important, because the fanciest kit out there, you could buy the most expensive, fanciest stuff out there, but if you don't know how to light a fire, it's going to be kind of miserable. So anyways, I use what I like to refer to as the kit triangle. So think of a triangle with 3 points with all perfect sides. At the top, you have cost. All right, cost is subjective. It's whatever you feel it is, whatever your brackets are. It's going to be different for every single person. Sometimes you might be in a squeeze and it might be, or just starting out, or you just might not have the means and it might be, economical. You may have a little bit extra money floating around, but there comes to a point where you get sticker shock and you're like, yeah, no, not worth it. Next down the line, the next angle on the triangle, we have durable and serviceable. Again, that goes back to my last point. You can't buy something and have it only last once or twice or three times, especially if you're going to pay for the money, right? Money's expensive. It takes a lot of work to earn money, and our time's valuable, and you don't want to be out there with a busted piece of kit because, it's made of Chinesium and, recycled cardboard, and it just falls apart. Okay? And it's got to be able to do that over and over and over again. Next point over, on the last angle of the triangle, is lightweight. Okay? Now, this is again subjective. It's all based on the type of camping you do. Lightweight can mean a couple of things. If you're a car camper, that cast iron frying pan, that might be considered lightweight because guess what? You throw it in the back of the SUV, you're not carrying it. Or you might be an ultralighter, where you're cutting your toothbrush in half and squeezing out half your roll of toothpaste, where ounces and grams matter, and you got to shave weight. You want the lightest stuff available, okay, or anything in between. Again, it's what you can't. Myself, personally, I have an ATV. I'm still limited to weight. Not as, my weight makes an ultralighter cry, but I've got to maintain the weight of the machine, the cargo carrying capacity, and that includes myself, plus all my warrant stuff, right? So that it adds up, and you want to be balanced on a quad because you don't want to tip or roll depending on the terrain. So anyways, in this triangle, right in the middle lies the absolute perfect piece of kit for you. Dream kit. It's not only, it's perfect. It's cost effective for you. You consider it worth it. It's durable. It's probably heirloom stuff. And 3, it's super lightweight, made of some fancy material. And you know what? It'll last it's super lightweight. You can carry it in your pocket and not even notice it. Weighs less than a pack of cigarettes. That piece of kit never exists, ever. You'll never find it. You'll always look for it, but you'll never find it. The best you can do at any one time is pick 2. So it's either going to be cost effective and durable, but it's going to be heavy, or it's going to be lightweight, made from some fancy material. It's going to be somewhat durable enough for what you do, but it's going to cost an exorbitant amount of money, right? I'm looking at you, titanium and Dyneema and all of this stuff, right? So the best you can hope for is a triangle that, instead of being perfect, is always going to be slewed to one side or the other. And this is where the compromise comes in. You have to ask yourself, are you willing to pay that? Is it durable enough to survive? Is it heirloom stuff that's going to be able to pass down? Is it going to be able to withstand a drop? Is it going to be able to withstand getting wet? Is it going to be able to withstand getting frozen? Depending on what you camp. If you're a weekend warrior and you only do 1 or 2 camping trips a year at a national park, right? You don't need titanium cookware or Dyneema tarps. You can get away with a dollar store tarp or dollar store cookware and a Canadian Tire tarp, right? And that stuff's durable enough for you. Is it lightweight? Again, from a grams and ounces point, no. But then again, if you got an SUV, who cares? You're not carrying it, right? So I'm coming up to the last little bit here of my rant and musings. I'm trying to keep these to under 10 minutes just to keep them coming, keep them moving. I'm going to be filming stuff way in advance and out of order. So if I ramble in some of my videos, or I repeat stuff, or stall in my videos somewhere, it's because it's out of order. So they're filmed on different days, different times. I'm going to try to get out and do some wood stuff. I'm going to start putting a link on the next videos, and I'm going to start leaving the link to my lighter pack. I'll explain the lighter pack a little bit more in the next video, but I'll start leaving a link down below so you guys can check it out, so that when I start referencing it, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Like and subscribe. If there's any information you want to have, share it with that's good in this video, share the link with your friends and get them to tune in, and maybe they'll like and subscribe, and maybe we can start a conversation, and you guys we'll grow the channel. Cool? All right. Cheers.